People are the rightful stewards of this plane. It's our job not to just take care of it and leave it in better shape than when we came here, but also to make it more magnificent. I believe all of our problems have started as we've become more and more disconnected from nature. And there's a lot of talk these days about the biome, a living ecosystem inside of ourselves and somehow in communication with the biome of agriculture. From day one, I was always considered a bit of a troublemaker by my teachers and my parents. And in hindsight, I think I understand that a little bit, because there's something in me, for whatever reason, that just didn't want to conform. I was bored with the normal schooling and the way things were done. And I just always wanted to search things out myself and make up my own mind. When I was 9 years old, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. A very proud, energetic woman, and I watched her over a 4-year period just reduced to a shell of her former self. And of course, she had adopted conventional medicine, chemo, nuclear, and so forth. It just basically destroyed her body, and I can't help but believe that that had an impact on me that largely shaped not just my career choice, but how I chose to practice my profession. My journey in medicine actually started with my background in athletics, because I had a very scientific approach to training, and I always wanted to know how the body works and how I could get the most out of my body, get peak performance. That led into my conventional university trainings and pre-med studies. And I did a technician certification at Stanford Medical School. I ended up practicing in emergency medical services. So I had a great appreciation for what the conventional system has to offer, the technologies and things when people are in life-threatening situations. And so I had a great respect for crisis intervention. The problem is that the majority of all issues that people face in life are non-crisis issues, but we still apply that crisis intervention model to the totality of our medical system today. Because of my natural inclinations, I always wanted to understand a deeper level of not just physiology, but the human psyche and how everything ties together. So that led me to all my other studies, and I always wanted to know what was right around the next bend. It's naturopathy, chiropractic, herbology, homeopathy, and eventually that all merged together as far as my specialty over the years in bioterrain medicine. Early studies, I was very attracted to what a lot of people loosely call alchemy. And I was just always fascinated with those alchemists, because before it became pure chemistry, they understood the forces of nature and how to harness those more directly in the chemist lab. And in my medical studies, chemistry was always my favorite subject. So they had back then a class of physicians who were alchemists at the same time, and they grew their own plants because they understood that in order to really learn the properties of a plant, and they knew it wasn't just the chemical properties, but to learn the personality of a plant, they had to follow that plant through its entire growth cycle. They also knew that if they were making medicine out of that plant, that if they grew it, then there was a special connection between themselves and that plant. They still had that thread of consciousness, that level of awareness. So it became very obvious to me early on that that was an important element, and that's what drew me out in the garden, starting to grow some of my own herbs in the first place.